guys doing tonight? Tonight we're talking about, well, first of all, we're talking about Happy Valentine's Day today, and we're talking about a really special tune. It's called When You Say Nothing at All. So hopefully we're all plugged in and we're all tuned up to standard tuning. Today we're going to play the song in the key of D, and it's in the key of D, but we're going to talk about drop D tuning today. So I'm assuming that everybody is in standard tuning, but before we get going too far, we'll just make sure that everybody has the low E string, and we'll go through a quick tune-up, okay? And if you have any questions at any time, you feel free to ask in the chat bar, okay? And we will be responsive as possible to your requests. But for now, let's tune up. Low E. And A. Well, I hope you guys had a good week. It's been a blur. It's been a very busy week for us over here. D. We'll go through to the G string. And I made a few notes, so I'll be referencing those notes occasionally. G and B. And high E. And once we tune up, we'll double stop. We'll double check the low E string, because once we make fine tuning adjustments on the guitar, sometimes the neck or the top of the guitar will, if you're playing acoustic guitar, will move just slightly, and that will be enough to bring the rest of the strings out of tune. As we go up the string set and we work our way around the guitar headstock, sometimes those adjustments in tension here will kind of be enough to make the neck just kind of adjust a little bit. And even if it's a little bit on an acoustic instrument, it's, you know, we just should check it again. So here's a low E string. Okay, and what we're going to do is drop that low E string down to, because we are in drop D. I'm not sure if you're looking at tuning down with me. Hope you are. I usually just play, it sounds like a power chord, so it's the D5 chord. So we're playing a D, an open D string, an A string, and now the open low E is now an open D. Tricks there that we can do, like open D and then fret 12 on the D string. Make those two notes open D on the D string and fret 12 on the low E. Make them exactly, fret 12 natural harmonic. Make those notes exactly the same. And natural harmonic would be when we play the finger, you know, the round part of the finger over here actually goes over, it's actually touching that low E string directly over the 12th fret, not in the middle where we would normally fret, but right over the fret itself. And if we pluck closer to the bridge, we can create a nice bell-like sound. We'll talk more about that stuff later. A lot of fun. So natural harmonics, we should all be in tune now. And now what we'll do is move on up to capo number 1. So does everybody have a capo? I have this really nice, it's really convenient because it can be, you know, sort of stowed away right here on the guitar neck. It's the Page capo, and you know, it's a very cool, very small, very simple piece of equipment, but nice design. And best of all, it keeps the guitar in tune. Some capos, you know, when we clamp it on, some capos will just like bend all of the strings out of tune, and that's sort of nonsense. We don't want that stuff. We want to try to avoid that as much as we can, but sometimes we have to work with what we got. Do you know what I mean? So fret number 1, that's pretty close. It's a little, my guitar is a little buzzy, but I like it like that. Okay, so now if you wanted to, if you haven't done so already, we have that very nice like lead sheet, that music sheet available for you. And there should be a link in the chat. So I think the link is about 3 megabytes long. 3 megabytes. It's pretty small, but it's really helpful for what we're going to go through tonight. Okay. So first, we should always warm up, and that should take, you know, 5-minute interval of our practice time, our normal day, or more. But for now, we'll go through together. We'll start just the 1, 2, 3, 4 warm-up exercises on position 9. That means finger 1 is on 3, 5, 7, fret number 9. So join me. Come on in. We'll just do this, and we'll feel much better, and we'll do a little stretch afterwards, and we'll be ready to do a little active stretching and descend. Once we get all the way to the top of that position, we'll shift the entire left hand down, and we'll use all down strokes for tonight. And as we descend, we'll use finger 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, and 1, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. And then we'll shift position down again once we exhaust all the notes in that position. This is good stuff to do. You know, it's very easy in today's world to overlook this simple stuff. But this is the simple stuff that's going to give us the time that we need in order to create a really nice learning environment, a really nice learning atmosphere. There's really no substitute for this. Because what we're really talking about is we're really talking about developing another language. You know, we start off trying to learn the songs of others, but eventually what we do is start trying to do develop our own voices. And that's, you know, sort of where some people would like to go. It's a little more work, but it's oh so much more rewarding if you really want to dig in and do it. But it's also cool just to learn how to play tunes around the campfire. So we do all of that and enjoy all of those approaches. So it's a very nice, you can see that I've descended all the way down to position number 2 so far, and we'll call this position number 2 because we're on capo number 1. Now we're on position number 1, so what we would have called fret number 2 before becomes fret number 1 because of the capo. The capo will assume the role of fret number 0. Okay, so we've done all of our nice down strokes all the way down to position number 1. And so we're good. Now we're talking about chord patterns for when you say nothing at all. And this version is going to be the Alison Krauss version. There's the songwriter, I believe, is Keith Whitley. And if you haven't heard that version yet, I'm sure everybody's heard it, but if you haven't heard it, he's got the voice of an angel. So check it out. I'd highly recommend it. Now let's see. The chords that we're starting with, we're going to start with D sus2. Very simple chord, but typically we would finger it with fingers 1 and 3. But this time we're using fingers 1 and 2. That way, we can open up that high E string on the top. And you can already hear the song start to unfold. So this is going to be fun right here. And then we're using for the A sus4, the next chord, the second finger stays right where it is. Second chord, the first finger is going to bar the 2 middle strings and then try to up, just kind of arch up if you can, like do a reverse, like a negative little bend in your first finger knuckle. Moby Toad forever. That's funny. Awesome. I hope you're playing guitar and I hope you're enjoying it. So now what we're doing is second finger is going to stay there. It's going to stay. I really appreciate you watching, John. This is great. So I'm very happy that you found your way in here, and I hope you have a guitar in your hand. And if not, I hope you're enjoying yourselves and all that stuff. So finger 2 stays right here when we transition from the D sus2 chord to the A sus4. We're playing the 4 open A, fret 2, and then finger 2 on the B string on fret number 3, and then open high E. Kind of cool stuff. It's hard to get that open high E string ringing sometimes, but we'll work on it. If you hear it clicking at all, it's probably the result of that first finger laying over the high E string, which we want to try to avoid. Now, that second finger's there. We're using that second finger as our pivot finger, so we have to sort of plan, you know, just plan how we're going to shift to that next chord, which is the G5. We'll try to start, when we start the whole progression, moving from D5 to A, or not D5, but D sus2 to A sus4. We'll use that fourth finger on the low E string to kind of flesh out that G5. That second finger is going to remain on fret number 3. And even through the D sus2 and the A sus4 and the G5. So it's really important to plan where that second finger tip is going to be and make sure it's comfortable. So it's kind of comfortable for that G5. The G5's, you know, it's kind of a